What's up guys, Everything Apple Pro here, and it's official. The iPhone 7 and 7 Plus have both been announced in beautiful new jet black colors and just black. So let's go ahead and recap everything that's happened today and share with you everything you need to know about these new iPhones. There's a new Apple Watch. There's a ton to get excited about, and I'm actually very impressed with this year's event. I'm happy that Apple went above and beyond and added a bunch of capabilities to the iPhone 7 that I didn't expect them to actually pull through with. And I'm actually kind of surprised how many rumors became true. I mean, Apple really lets their leaks go, or they just don't care about it, extra publicity, whatever. But let's go ahead and start off with something that I thought was kind of interesting in the beginning. Apple announced some updates to the App Store, and Mario is coming to iOS. So if you're a fan of Nintendo, there are going to be more games coming in the future. Also, Pokemon Go for the Apple Watch. So not only is it going to be on your iPhone, now you're going to be able to do it on your Apple Watch as well. There are going to be some cool enhancements, so where you'll be able to use your Apple Watch while walking, get alerts, all that good stuff. So none of this would be awesome without an Apple Watch with improved battery life and improved internals. That's why Apple went and announced the Apple Watch 2. They were very happy with how the first generation did, so they wanted to improve it in the ways that they could. They're calling it the Apple Watch Series 2. It's now water resistant up to 50 meters. So swim proof is what Apple calls it. You can actually use it in the water. It's been tested extensively. It's got all the seals and waterproofing necessary to perform in the real world. And those speakers that eject water, that patent we talked about earlier, Apple actually went and put them into the new Apple Watch. So that is really cool. After a workout, it's going to emit a frequency that's going to eject all of that water. So that's the Apple Watch 2's hardware. As for the actual internals, it's going to have the new S2 chip, dual core performance. That is really cool. It's going to have a faster GPU as well. So this thing is going to be much better in animations. And there's a new display. It's twice as bright as the current Apple Watch, 1000 nits. In fact, it's the brightest display Apple has ever shipped on any product. There's also built-in GPS now, so instead of cellular connectivity, you're going to be able to track your workouts, do a lot more without your iPhone. So it's less dependent on the iPhone. There's also a new material, ceramic, 4 times harder than steel, really cool white look, and of course, Hermes new bands, the usual. So that's the Series 2 Apple Watch. Cool thing about the first series Apple Watch, it's sticking around. Apple's actually going to stick that new dual-core processor inside of it and keep the price point low at $269. The new one starts at $369. There's a Nike exclusive version which has some little software tweaks and a special band. It looks kind of cool. And in general, the Apple Watch, not a huge upgrade, but my favorite thing has to be the water resistance. I hate having to take it off, going to a jacuzzi, a pool. Now you're going to be able to track all of your activity in the water. So a nice update. It's going to start at $369 and it's going to be available to pre-order on the 9th and shipping later this month on the 16th. And Apple talked about the iOS 10 update. Nothing really new. I was disappointed to learn they're not announcing a dark mode. So they jumped into the iPhone 7 right away with the new space black color, except they're calling it jet black. It's a polished version. They actually have a special process to go ahead and get that finish. It looks really cool. It's like the Mac Pro Tower. Very nice glossy black. It blends seamlessly. The antenna bands just blend into the design. It blends with the display on the front. I mean, this is cool. This is Darth Vader's phone of choice. And the iPhone 7 Plus pictured with that dual lens camera doesn't look too bad. I like how the body morphs into the camera. So are there any surprises with design? Nope, just the volume buttons, which actually kind of sit funny on the exterior shell. They don't have that concave insert, but we knew about that yesterday as well. So really nice design, no surprises here, but the color is very impressive. There's also a matte version, just black, not dark black like previously expected. Kind of doesn't make sense there. Of course, the usual colors are coming in as well. And Apple gave us 10 key points that the iPhone 7 will ship with. So first off was design. Next up is the home button. Indeed, it does have a 3D touch capable home button. With an upgraded Taptic engine, you'll now be able to simulate a press without needing to have a physical home button. Next up is IP67 water resistance. So this means you will no longer need a case while jumping into a pool or using it in the shower. That is awesome. What did surprise us was that this does have a dust resistance. So the 6 in the IP67 means it's protected against dust, and the rating is up to 1 meter at 30 minutes underwater. So not quite at the Apple Watch Series 2 level. So we've got some updates to the camera. They are pretty dang significant. A huge focus of the iPhone 7 is on low light photography, being able to capture images better in low light. So it's got optical image stabilization on the standard 4.7-inch model. As predicted, there's a wider aperture for better capturing light, especially in low light environments, an improved 6-element lens, and the signal image processor is much better. So you're getting 60% better improvement and a 30% reduction in power usage. And just as predicted, the flash unit now houses 4 LEDs for a 50% brighter flash, and it has a cool new feature called flicker detection. So if there's a light source that's flickering, it's going to compensate for it, which will make your pictures appear better. And Apple did give us a demo of the photography. So we got some images in high quality that looked great. I mean, it picks up light, especially in darker environments, very well. That was one of my biggest complaints with iPhones, is that low light versus the S7, they just cannot compete. Now with that wider aperture, it's going to be much better. And the actual pixel sizes on the camera sensor are larger, so you'll be able to pick up color a little bit better. And the front-facing camera got a huge upgrade as well to 7 megapixels. It has stabilization now, a better pixel tech, and even wider color capture, so better FaceTime photos. So even on the smaller iPhone 7 model, you're still getting a lot of innovation with your camera. Now on the larger Plus model, wow, this thing is quite impressive. So just as expected, it's going to have 2 lenses, one being a wide angle and one being a telephoto. So those combined will allow you to get optical zoom, only up to 2 times though. So beyond that, there is a software feature that is reportedly much better than standard digital zoom. So you'll be able to go from 2 to 8 on the software side. And there will be a new button within camera to zoom using that feature. No word on whether or not we'll be able to change the resolution within the app though. It's about time, Apple. So there's a new feature they did demo on stage. I thought it was pretty cool. New depth map software will process a photo and allow you to add bokeh to a photo without necessarily needing a crazy camera for it. There's a new portrait mode which will allow you to get photos just like this off of your iPhone. That is so cool. Now that's not coming immediately at the release. It's going to come in a software update later on in the year. Next update was to the display. So it will be 25% brighter now, and it supports a wider array of colors. So that's the P3 color gamut I was talking about. No word on the True Tone display feature yet. I'm still hoping it's going to be added as one of those little silent features Apple doesn't mention at the keynote. Apple did an upgrade to the speakers as well. As expected, one of them on the bottom is fake. The other speaker, stereo speaker, is in the actual headset speaker on the front of the display. I think that's pretty damn cool. It's going to allow for a wider sound. It's going to be more immersive, I think. Apple did talk about why they're going wireless. It's an old tech. They wanted to make room in the iPhone for future technology, and space comes at a cost in such a small little design. So they wanted to go wireless, and with new AirPods, they were able to achieve that. They're actually pretty damn impressive. 5 hours of battery life from each one. They can be used simultaneously or individually. They have a new W1 processor, which is that custom Bluetooth chip we were talking about. Apple was creating infrared sensors so they know when they're in your ear, and accelerometers. The way you actually set them up is pretty cool. You just open the case and put it right next to the iPhone, and it'll begin the setup immediately. No software controls, nothing like that. That is very impressive. And there's a seamless experience between all of your devices. Now, the amount of tech Apple shoved into these little headphones are impressive. I mean, they're just loaded, jam-packed with sensors. And can you imagine how easy it will be to lose these? They are tiny. So that's what makes it so impressive. It's small, yet filled with so much tech. 24 hours of battery life using the actual case, and you'll be able to charge that with a lightning cable. Apple did upgrade the rest of the Beats lineup with a new W1 chip as well for seamless integration with all of your devices. Now, the Beats Solo 3 now feature 40 hours of battery life, so I will be getting those as well, and I think they're going to feature the new gloss black color, if I'm not mistaken. The 9th point was specific iPhones in Japan to support their version of Apple Pay, Felica, I believe that's how it's pronounced. That's going to be available later in October, so a hardware exclusive just for Japan. And lastly, we get to performance. This one is very, very impressive. So the Apple A10 chip is now quad core. You're getting 2 processors that are based on efficiency and 2 on high performance. In general, 120 times more powerful than the very first iPhone. So 2 of these cores are going to run at a very slow pace at 1/5 of the total power. The rest are going to be very high performance. So whenever you need them, there's a special software that'll determine which applications need which side of the processor to run on. Graphical performance is 50% improved while only needing 2/3 of the power of the A9 chip to run at the same pace. It's 240 times faster than the original iPhone. That is pretty impressive. And they did give some demos of what this raw power can do. What impressed me the most was an Adobe Lightroom, which has 90% of the features of the desktop version. It could do everything it can on your smartphone using that power. That is cool. Now with the games, console quality was thrown around as well, as it is every single year, but will we actually achieve that? Who knows? And battery life. So we know that the batteries are larger in actual capacity and the ratings are better as well. So this is the longest lasting battery ever on an iPhone. On the iPhone 7, you're going to get about 2 hours over the 6S, and on the 7 Plus, you'll get an hour over the 6S Plus. So these are the iPhones. This is what they can do. Mainly the color is the biggest change, and the cameras. Besides that, little refinements everywhere else, and performance is a really big one as well. So guys, I gotta say, pretty impressed. I like this release. This is a very good one, more than I thought the iPhone 7 would be. So early on in the rumors, it wasn't as big of a deal, but now that it's out, I think this thing is going to be killer. It's going to outperform every smartphone on the market, as Apple has said. It's got the best camera on the market. So this could possibly be the best smartphone you can buy, period. So when can we actually get it? Pre-orders begin this Friday at 12 a.m. So the night of Thursday, get online. Prices stay the same of the iPhone 7 as the 6S at $649, and for the 7 Plus. So Apple made a little joke, which gave me a little heart attack, that they're going to start at 16 gigabytes. I was like, no, but they're actually going to 32, 128, and 256. So very good pricing. The 6S gets bumped down to middle class, and of course, the iPhone upgrade program is still in full effect. The actual get in your hands release date will be on September 16th. So that was previously expected to be on the 23rd, but first on the 16th, and then it went back to the 16th. So I'm very excited. We're very, very close, guys. We're going to have this in our hands very soon. iOS 10 will drop on September 13th. We should be seeing a GM here any moment, and the AirPods later in October. All right, guys, so that's my quick overview of what happened today with the iPhone 7, 7 Plus, and Apple Watch 2. Stay tuned for many videos. I'm going to be covering everything. Have a great day. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. I would love to hear it from you. How was today for Apple? Peace.